Hi, I'm Richard. Today we are going to taste some teas from Laos and Myanmar that were sent to us by Profound. I'm Richard Schukking. I'm a teacher at the International Tea and Coffee Academy. As an academy, we train the tea industry, from the farmer to the exporter, importer, retailer and consumer. Today we are going to taste 5 teas from Myanmar and Laos that were sent to us by Profound, and they are in these boxes, so let's find out. So the first things we are going to do is to take a look at the dry leaf. Then we are going to prepare the tea like we do in the tea industry. We're going to take a look at the infused leaf, the color of the infusion, and of course the taste and the flavor of the infusion. The first step in evaluating this tea is to look at the dry leaf. So let's see what we've got here. This is a Pongsali green tea, factory tea, and it's a black tea. So it's not a green tea, it's a black one. I've traveled to Myanmar and Laos a couple of times and was impressed by the quality produced in those two countries. And if I look at this tea, I'm impressed too. It's a beautiful tea. A couple of things worth mentioning is the color is beautiful blackish. There are a lot of buds and it's a very leggy tea, and that's what we like. Let's take a look at the second tea. It's also from the same company. It's from Pongsali Green Tea Factory, and this is actually a green tea. And if we look at this tea, we also see a very leggy tea. No small particles, it's beautiful and leggy. No stems or any other contaminations. It looks very good from the dry leaf side. The third tea is from Myanmar, and it's from the Tang Teu Gi company, and it's a black tea. Let's see how this tea looks like. Again, a beautiful leggy tea, but this tea is quite different from the previous black tea. There are a lot of golden leaves in it. That means that there are a lot of buds in this tea, and buds give a lot of sweetness. So I'm very interested to see how this tea will taste. Looks great, really great. The same company also makes a green tea, so let's take a look at this tea. There's a beautiful aroma coming from this tea. Very sweet, fruity. Very even in both shape, size and color, and that's a good thing. Also a lot of buds in this tea. Very flowery, beautiful. The next tea is from Laos. It's from the Som Neo Tang Tea Factory, and this is a black tea. Again, we start with the dry leaf to see how this tea was produced. We can tell how it was picked, how it was withered, how it was rolled, and how it was processed in the entire process. Again, a lot of buds, brownish black in color, very even, beautiful big leaves, and also a lot of buds, and the buds are the yellow parts of the leaf. Yes, looks good. Let's see how the flavor of this tea is. It's also very sweet, flowery, even fruity. Looks very promising. The same company also sent us a green tea. Let's see how a green tea from Laos looks like. We look for color, shape, size, things like that, but also how it was dried and if it's well processed, and if we crunch it, you can actually hear it. That means that there isn't a lot of moisture left, and that's good for the tea. You can keep the tea longer when there isn't a lot of moisture in the tea. Again, green. I don't see any black or brownish parts. I see a lot of buds, buds that are beautiful and silver in this green tea. You can also tell how the tea was plucked. It was plucked like 1 or 2 leaves and a bud, and it was plucked by hand. That's also very clear from the way it looks like. The last 2 teas are from Myanmar, from Mao Shan, and they send us both a roasted green tea and a red tea. And let's start with the roasted green one. It is a roasted tea, and that's the first thing you smell. You smell the cookie-like flavors coming from the roasting process. And if you take a look at the leaf, you can tell it's a little bit darker, and the dark color is caused by the roasting process. So it's roasted, certainly not burned, but it's still quite vegetable-like, and that's a nice thing about roasted green teas. Beautiful color again, beautiful plucked leaf, very even, nice and wiry. If you take some tea, you see it's all wiry. It means it was well twisted and well sorted. Looks good. The last tea is a Mao Shan Myanmar black tea, or red tea as they call it. This leaf is a little bit smaller than the previous ones, but it also is quite even in color, very even in shape. Not that many buds, but it really smells very honey-like. Honey and black tea, that's quite nice. So I can't wait to taste the teas. So let's start with the green teas, and then we will taste the black teas after that. So we're starting with the green teas. We take a lot of tea, and we are going to use boiling water. Not the way you would like to brew this tea at home, but if there are any defects in the tea, they will show up by using boiling water. I use 2.6 grams. So let's taste this tea. We start with the green tea, and again I use boiling water. Don't do this at home because you'll get quite a bit of astringency. The reason I use this boiling water is to see if there are any defects in the tea. And you'll get the defects more clearly when you use hot water and steep it for a longer period of time. So let's wait. So I'm pouring the tea from the cup into the bowl. First I'm going to take a look at the color of the leaves, the shape of the leaves. And it is a green tea, so I'd like to see green leaves, no brown coloring at all, because brown says something about the oxidation process, and it should not be oxidized because it's a green tea. And I see a beautiful green tea, no brown colors whatsoever. I can press it down a bit so I get even a better view on the leaves. Well picked, well produced, huge leaves, very leggy in the dry leaf, and they opened up beautifully. Great. Next is the color of the infusion, and it's a green tea, so the infusion should be anywhere from yellow to light green. I don't want to see any orange kind of colors, but because orange will tell something about oxidation, and again, green tea should not be oxidized. So it's all beautiful green, light green. This one is a little bit pale, but still no orange coloring, beautiful green. Looks great, smells, tastes great. Let's see how it tastes. So I'll start by taking small sips of tea. I use my tea tasting spoon, and I try to get the tea everywhere in my mouth. This is nice. I'm looking for oxidation in flavor. We didn't see any oxidation in the leaf. We didn't see it in the infusion, but sometimes it's not visible, but you can taste it, and it tastes a little bit metallic-like. No metallic here. Fruity, flowery, very sweet and not astringent at all. Remember, I steeped it for a very long period of time and I used boiling water. Normally green tea would get extremely astringent, but this one isn't. It's quite smooth and it's nice and sweet. Lots of fruits like peach, apricots, a very slight flowery note. Very pleasant. This one is also very fruity, but it's more flowery, like orchids. And again, no astringency whatsoever. Very nice. Let's see what this one tastes like. This one has a little bit more of a herby kind of flavor. Also sweet. And also has some nutty flavor like almonds, roasted almonds. This one is even sweeter than the other ones, and it has a kind of cookie kind of flavor, which I really like. I'm impressed, I'm really impressed. So these teas are green teas from two countries that are not very well known to many tea drinkers, and that's a pity, because it's beautiful. Is it as good as China, Japan or Korea? It's different, right? It's Laos, it's Myanmar, it's not China, it's not Japan. It is unique in itself, and it's different in the way that it has no astringency. It's very sweet and flowery. I think many European or worldwide tea drinkers really like these teas. Okay, here we have got our 4 black teas. And again, first we take a look at the infused leaves. It's a black tea, so I don't like to see any green or greenish color. And I'm looking for the shape, and the leaves are opening up. And I can tell the way it was withered, the way it was rolled. And it looks beautiful. Big, leggy leaves, very curly. Beautiful color, deep brown. This tea is roasted a little bit deeper. You can tell it by the color, it's a little bit darker, and it has a little bit of a cookie kind of flavor. No defects whatsoever. Beautiful looking teas. Next is taking a look at the infusion, and we like orange to deep red color. Well, it is Laos and Myanmar, so that means that the tea isn't too red in color. They are more brownish, orange in color, and they all are very clean, very clear, not cloudy at all. Looks great. I'm very interested to see how they taste. Well, it's going to sound like a commercial for tea from Laos and Myanmar, but I'm very honest, and it is really spectacular. It is beautiful and sweet, fruity, lots of honey kind of flavors. I love this. This is really, really nice. Let's see the differences between the different teas. No astringency whatsoever. Sweet, soft, very clean, very crisp, with lots of sweet fruits and beautiful honey kind of flavors. This is really high quality specialty tea. Let's take a look at the second one. Quite different from the first one. This one is not that sweet, but it's a little bit lighter and it's quite flowery. Very pleasant. Also no greenish kind of tones. Beautiful made. Very soft black tea, lots of honey kind of flavors, also very fruity, and again no astringency. And remember, I steeped the tea for a long time with boiling water, so imagine what happens if you use like 80 centigrade water. It will get even sweeter than right now. Very nice. Okay, the last one, it's a little bit darker roasted. You can tell it by the color of the leaves, also the color of the infusion. It is deep orange, very clear cup. Quite similar to the other ones, but this one is a little bit more nutty. A bit of a walnut kind of flavor to it. Slight astringency. I'm not going to spit this tea out. It's beautiful. It has lots of depth, very complex tea. Beautiful. So, great teas. And I'm very honest. If I don't like a tea, it's only my opinion, but I like this tea a lot. Especially suited for people that drink their tea pure, so no sugar, no milk. People that like high quality black teas. So it's very sweet, it's very round, fruity, lots of honey kind of flavors. It really is quite different from the rest. It is a little bit like a ginger mei from China. The same sweetness, but it's different, right? And that's good because it's from a different country and it's unique. It has its own character. Beautiful. When I visited Laos and Myanmar about 10 years ago, the tea in those countries were okay. Inconsistent, sometimes some good teas, but most of them were very mediocre. Things have changed and have changed a lot. 2 years ago I visited Laos and Myanmar and I was amazed by the change in quality. And these teas are no different. They are different from what's there in the market. They are sweet, flowery, fruity, lots of honey kind of flavors, and that's exactly what the current tea market likes. Exactly what I like. No astringency, very friendly, beautiful teas. It may sound like a commercial for tea from Laos and Myanmar, and actually it is. I'm very honest in my opinion. If I don't like it, I just tell them, because I'm not helping anyone by saying it's great and it's not. These are great teas, and they're very promising, and they're a huge opportunity for the tea world to get to know two beautiful new producing countries. Not new, but new in high quality specialty tea. So I really recommend trying these teas, and I'm sure you will be delighted when you taste them.